Hey guys, it's Anna Gray. It is Sunday, August 17th, and I'm using a new system called Fuse Meeting. So there's some coaches out there that are using this system. So I wanted to check it out and see how it is and see if it's better than Zoom or what. See what the hype is about. So I decided why not do a meeting with just myself and test it out and record it. So today I wanted to go over branding. I know the last month we've been talking about kind of how to get through the dip. You know, we had Summit and everything was great and everybody was getting paid and we had all these coaches sign up, and then things kind of leveled off in the last few weeks. So it's really, the conversation's been about, you know, getting out of the dip and like belief and understanding that this is possible and amazing things can happen. But today I wanted to talk about branding yourself and making this fun, because this is actually, for me, like the most fun thing that I love about this business, because I get to talk to people. I get to talk to people that I like to talk to. In the past, I used to be in management, and I would have to work with people I didn't want to work with, because they didn't want to work with me because, well, whatever. We differed. Here's an opportunity in this business, because it is your own business, to work with people that connect with you and that you connect with. And so that's what I really wanted to talk to you about today, is branding yourself. Now, if you're a brand new coach, it's not too early to brand yourself. That being said, I've been in the business for 5 years. I'm constantly looking at who my audience is. Today, 5 years later, my audience is completely different than it was 5 years ago. And that will be the case for you as well. But the great thing is that you can evolve into that coach that you want to be and attract those people that you want to attract early. I say that because I was flying by the seat of my pants most of the time. I don't know. I'm just sharing what I think people need to hear. I don't know. Some coaches are sharing this, so I think I'll do the same thing. And some coaches are sharing this, so I think I'll do the same thing and hope that it sticks. Well, luckily, you know, just over time, it stuck because I was consistent about it. And I was consistently adding new people to my network. So that is naturally going to grow. But I'll tell you what, the first time I heard or kind of dove into how to brand yourself, oh my gosh, it was like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders, because it was easy to market to. And that first kind of insight, or eyes wide open, was to find 5 things that you can relate to or that are a part of you, and you start posting about those 5 things. So this meeting is going to be a note-taking meeting. You're going to pause this if you need to, but I want you to start taking notes, okay? So one way to start, if you're just new and you're just like digging into this and you've been posting some stuff and you're working out. I mean, I started out and posting, hey, I'm doing P90X chest and back. Hey, I'm doing whatever. I'm drinking my Shakeology, just because that's all I knew how to do. Once I started to think about 5 things that make up me, I started to narrow my posts, and that was a first start. So for me, it was that I was talking to, you know, who were my friends list? Who were on my friends list that were showing up to the party, let's say? Who are those kind of people? So the 5 things about me were that I was a mom, I was a nurse, I was adoptive mom, I didn't love to work out, but I found this new love to work out, and so I kind of narrowed my post down to who I thought I was talking to, and that worked fine, totally fine, totally fine. So if you're starting there, then I want you to find 5 things about yourself that just make up you. Are you a mom? Are you young? Are you still in college? Are you, name 5 things about yourself that make up you. and what you like to do and things like that. And that's really a great way to start. But I'm going to dig in a little bit deeper with this. I am going to, this is great. And some of you know the Bombshell Dynasty, and they are, I tell you, they are like the best branding team around. That being said, I would not have joined their team because I cannot relate to them. That is not my thing. My thing is not being in my 20s, makeup, hair, shopping, knowing what the best handbags are, style, fashion. Like, I am so far from that. But they have branded themselves so well, and guess who they attract? They attract that exact market. Now, how do they do that? I have to tell you that I'm a fan of all coaches. I'm a fan of all coaches that dig deep and really try their hardest to do amazing in this business. The best friends that I've developed in this business are those that try their hardest. They don't necessarily have to be 15-star diamond coaches. They don't necessarily have to be 1-star diamond coaches. Those that just try hard. Is this working for you? Is this working for you? They just try, and they're never going to give up. Those are the people that I love. So that being said, I will say that I've been looking at some of the Bombshells training when it comes to branding because they've mastered it. It's not my brand, but I want to be able to brand myself. So I'm going to take you step by step on how to brand yourself, whether you are that kind of person. But guess what? You guys are on my team, so chances are you're a lot like me, and we're all trying to figure out who our brand is, okay? This is going to be really fun. So what I want you to do first is make a list of characteristics that represent the person that you are most enjoy helping. If you've been a coach a long time, then you have a list of people that you've helped, right? Take that list. Who are those people that you just, like, when they send you a message, those are the first ones you open. Not the ones that you wait till tomorrow to open. You know what I'm talking about. Take your very best, the people that you just love to work with. Who are they? What do they look like? If you're a brand new coach, you can do the same thing. Before you became a coach and you scrolled through Facebook and you stopped on somebody and you like, I gotta look at a post. Take those people and make it that type of person that you're looking for, because obviously you are attracted to them, which means they're probably going to be attracted to you. As you start working with people, you'll start to develop who you want to work with and those type of personalities. So if you're an old coach, then take your best customers. What do they look like? If you're a new coach, take those people that you admire the most, that you would love to work with. And write down who they are. What do they like? What do they like to do? Like I said before, shopping, fashion. That's not me. Mine are like, athletes and play softball, play soccer, play hockey. What do they do for fun? How old are they? Now I'll give you a little tip. When I went through this, I just went through this. I've gone through this probably every quarter, and I suggest that you go through this same process every quarter. Because it evolves, you start working with people and you realize who you want to work with. I mean, I have a lot of people that I worked with in the past that I just I wouldn't work with them again because they just dragged so much out of me. But you know what? That's part of the business. That's part of developing your leadership and getting better at what you do. And then you get momentum and then you just work with the people you want to work with. Amber Scott posted something yesterday that was it was perfect. Because it's true. You start to attract the people that you want to work with. But in the beginning, it's hard. So this is a really good way to start so that you kind of avoid some of those people. Okay, so how old are they? Are they single? Are they married? What is their occupation? What do they do for a living? What are their interests? What are their hobbies? What is their personality type? Are they really outgoing? Like in Danny Johnson terms, a sapphire and wear bright colors? or they were subdued, you know, and then dig deeper. Like, this is really what's going to make it worth your while, is to dig deeper. So, like, what are their fears? What are their goals? You know, what keeps that person up at night? Okay. What I did, this is where I was going. What I did was I went and I Googled, for me, a lot of you all are nurses. I Googled typical nurse. I wanted to see a picture of that person. Okay. And this is really important. Picture that person. Picture that person that you want to work with. So I Googled a few things and typed in images, and I came across a post that was so related. It was like 100 wonderful moms. And I just scrolled the picture. I scrolled all the pictures, and there was just someone that stood out to me. And so I used her, and I looked, and it showed her age, and I kind of glanced at the ones that I kept, like, gosh, she maybe hurt me. And they were all around the same age. Okay. So I used that. I got a typical picture. I actually used some of you guys who are my coaches, obviously, because I enjoy working with you. And I had your little names down, and it was like, how old are they? And I came up with what we like to call an avatar. Who am I talking to every day? Once you have this avatar, I want you to print this out, to have this as your screenshot, and to look at it every day. Before you set your post, look, I know this is my new version. I'm going to be looking at this every day because it's just going to make life so much easier. Okay, so I'm going to share that person with you. I'm going to share my desktop here, and we are going to look at okay, so here is my person. My person looks like this. Typically, no makeup. That's how I live my life 90% of the time, and I always have. It's kind of sporty, but over 35. Typically a mother of two, doesn't necessarily have to be, but typically a mother over the age of 35 who is a professional. For me, nurses, I tend to connect with, or someone in marketing. For some reason, those are the people that I attract, or that I love to work with. Marketing background, professional background, someone that went to school. That is typically who I talk to. Amy, I named her Amy because it just fit. I don't know. It just fit. So name your avatar. I named her Amy. Amy used to be active in her youth, or in her 20s. She was active before she had kids, when she was going through, climbing the ladder and going to college and all of that stuff. She was really active. She followed her career goals like she was supposed to. She was driven to follow her career goals. She had kids later in life. She always loved to help people, which typically put her on the back burner. So this Amy probably was helping her kids, and doesn't necessarily need to do her makeup or her hair, because that's just that's not a priority. So what are Amy's fears? Amy's fears are that she'll never be her old self again. So I have to take that in consideration when I'm posting. Taking in fears is a big deal, because you have a solution for that. So fears, what were her fears? Her fears are that she'll never be her old self again. She'll never be that active 20-year-old again. She looks up and realizes that she's not 20 anymore, and it was like, what happened? Life just passed by me. She also wants to be a good role model to her kids. She absolutely loves her kids because she waited later in life to have them. Her goals involve keeping her marriage fresh. She wants to stay married because, again, she had kids later. She probably got married later, or she's been married a long time. And her goal is to have successful, her kids being successful in school and just thriving. She also, or one of her goals, her fitness goals, is to have those abs that she's never had in her life, but always dreamed of. She loves food. She loves wine. She loves date nights, but wishes she had more of them. And she has lots of dreams to accomplish with her family, but just usually falls short of them. So that meaning, you know, God, it would be nice to be able to do this or do that or have a boat or have a investment property but I just can't seem to get there. So for me, this is my target audience. What I want you to do is to go through and take your time and write down those things. Create an avatar, plug it into your PicMonkey, find a person, find a picture of that person, and write in detail who that person is for you. Okay, I cannot stress this enough. This will make your life so much easier. Okay, so now I'm going to pull off my screen sharing. Once you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to, what do you have to offer, Amy? Or by Amy? What value can you provide, Amy, right? You want to provide hope. You want to provide belief. For me, it's belief that anything is possible, right? Gosh, I wish I could do this. Anything is possible in my world. Another thing for me, for Amy, is that, you know, you're not too old and you're not too busy to make those things happen. So what is it for you? What is the thing that you can provide your ideal avatar? Is it somebody that's just doesn't know how to eat right? Is it like, God, you know, every time I talk to these people, I really want to help them. They just can't seem to pull their meals together, or they really need help with that. So find out what that value is that you can share. When it comes to Beachbody, now this is important, when it comes to Beachbody, what are their fears with Beachbody? What were your fears when you started? Because typically we attract the same person that we are, right? Like I attracted you guys and, you know, same person. So what were your fears when you started? Did you do research on Beachbody? Was it that you didn't trust, like working online? What did you know, for my typical Amy, the fear of Beachbody was that it wouldn't work. We're a little bit older. We've done a lot of things. We've failed at a lot of things. God, is this going to work? I don't know. I don't know about spending my time, energy, money on something that isn't going to get me to my goals because I've already been down that road, right? So those are the fears so that I can address that before they even ask, right? What about Shakeology? Is it typically a money thing? Now, the people that I want to work with, the people that I love to work with, money is not an issue, okay? Money is not an issue. They're typically professionals. And it's a matter of, do I want to invest my money in something that may not work or may work or not, right? Now, I'm not talking about, like, for me, the old days, I would have worked with anybody. Anybody that would show up, I'd work with. And guess what? All of those people, it was all money issues. And that's why I don't have that issue anymore, that objection anymore, because that's not, you know, that's not who I attract. And maybe it is, but the great thing about that is that you can address that first. When you start to talk about posts, and I'm not saying, hey, Shakeology's cheap and, you know, post about those things. What I'm saying is that you're addressing their fears before they even have them, in a very creative way, but you already have that. You know exactly what to expect. Okay, so now that you have the solutions, right? You're gonna start to create content. Now, creating content is a little bit, you know, it takes time. It takes, you know, kind of feeling things out. This is why following top coaches is ideal. Now, that being said, is you don't want to copy somebody. I've realized this probably in the last week or so. I love following successful coaches and how they do things, and I want to, you know, I want to tweak my things and a little bit of, and then I realized, you know what, I do, because I'm not happy with it. Like my posts ages ago are just nothing compared to what they are today. I want to get better, but again, I'm just me, right? I'm just me, and that's all I can be. And I want you guys to know that as well. You can only be you. You can only get better. So always look at what other people are doing, but really come back to if I post this, is that really going to be me? Am I going to really be speaking to Amy? If I go grab a 20-year-old coach's post and I make it my own and post it, is that really going to attract Amy? No. Even though she's successful with posting it, it's not going to attract who I am talking to. And that's where addressing the solutions ahead of time, because yeah, you can make the cool font and the pretty pictures. And I'm going to share with you some training that I came across today on. It's so cool. I wish I did it. And this is what I want to be able to do more. But this will help you moving forward, because you guys are going to be rock star. Just people want to be you. People want to work with you because you are the resource. You're not that icky person. And I'm going to tell you that I talked to people recently, and I'm not going to name that person, but if she's watching this, she'll probably figure it out. So they have friends that are coaches, and all they do is post things about Shakeology and buy this. And when I polled my customers of what attracted you to me, it was that I was no pressure, not hunting you down. That's what I love, okay? So I like to be creative. I like to create mystery. So I'm posting a picture of my shakes, but I'm not going to type in Shakeology. I'm going to type in superfoods or something of that sort so that my Amy will see superfoods. I know that's probably supposed to be good for me. Be creative, be unlike anybody else so that you do not have any competition. The only competition is yourself. You brand yourself. You're looking at a particular customer and you create those solutions before the questions come up, okay? If you're adding new people to your network, they're going to see that how you've branded yourself and will only come to you because they think you're that flippin' awesome because you're like talking to them, right? Oh my gosh, she's totally talking to me. Oh my gosh, she's totally talking to me, right? So go through, all I can say is go through the steps, step by step by step. I also want to say now, you can do that with your customers, and you're going to do that with what is your ideal coach. And so what I did was, if you can see here, my ideal coach, oh wait here, my ideal coach, here it is. My ideal coach is professional, has common sense, has pushed past any disbelief in the past, has met many goals in their past, is coachable, is not afraid to step out on a limb, meaning like, you know, who cares about posting on a team page? I'm a leader. Fake it till you make it. They liked, and this goes along with this branding, do the thing, then tweak the thing, and then make it better all the time. They have a big heart. They're not afraid to show their flaws. For me, I have flaws. I'm not afraid to show them. I've had to learn that over the years, but I embrace it. They're not afraid to give their heart away. You know, you give your heart away, you have the chance of being heartbroken. It happens, but since you've gotten past the disbelief, you know how to pick yourself up and dust yourself off. They're dedicated. They're in it every day. As busy or crazy as life is, they're in it every day. They're consistent. They show up daily. And they have typically climbed a corporate ladder before. That is my ideal coach. What I want you to do is I want you to go through and write down the qualities of your ideal. If you could pick the perfect coach, what would that be? Write them down. Write down 10, 15 things. What would be your perfect coach? Then what I want you to do is I want you to look at yourself, and I want you to see if you are every single thing on that list. Now, if there is something that is not you, then you're not going to attract that coach unless you're doing that, right? You have to reflect back on whether or not you're doing it. Sure, I mean, I used to a long time ago. You get mad at coaches and I don't understand. They said they wanted it, and you blame them, when in fact, you look at something and you're actually missing a very important piece. So I want you to look at what your ideal customer is, what your ideal coach is. Share below your avatar. I'm going to share my picture of my avatar. I want to see your pictures. You can't be successful unless you do the thing. You need to get down there and do it, and then tweak it and make it better. Okay? Remember this list? My ideal coach, right? You guys are on this call. Are you any of these? I hope so. That's a hint. Not really. It is, but it's not. We can only get better. And again, I am not the biggest branding fancy thing. All I can do is share what I know, what I learn. I'm fascinated by how people do things. I don't do all my time and checking out what other people do. I tweak, I tweak. And that's it. I hope this is helpful. You know me, flying by the seat of my pants. And that's it. Have a great week. Coach at a Glance event starts tomorrow. If you don't know the event, look at my events and you'll see it there. Invite your prospects to that event. Let me do the talking. And then you can plug them into the system. I cannot stress enough, get yourself on a calendar. I know exactly what I'm doing next week. It's Coach Opportunity. The following week is promoting my free group. And then the following week, I'm starting my next free group. There you go. Boom. I know exactly what I'm doing. Are you doing that? Are you scheduling? Please do that. All right, guys. Have a great week.